भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। Let's first chant the Anuvaka. Om Hara 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 Om Namah Somaya Cha Rudraya Cha Namah Tamraya Charunaya Cha Namah Shangaya Cha Pashupataye Cha Namah Ugraya Cha Bhimaya Cha Namo Agre Vadaya Cha Dure Vadaya Cha Namo Andre Jahaniya Cha Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhyo Namaskharaya Namah Shambhave Jamayo Bhave Cha Namah Shankaraya Chamaya Karaya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha Namah Nityaya Cha Kuryaya Cha Namah Bhagyaya Cha Bhagyaya Cha Namah Prataranaya Chottaranaya Cha Namah Athadyaya Cha Ladhyaya Cha Namah Shashpyaya Cha Penyaya Cha Namah Srihatyaya Cha Pravayaya Cha. I don't know where we went. We didn't chant the Namah so much. Let's chant again. Because वो प्रतरण है तो went to teach जाए चुक जाए. Yeah. We chanted okay, Bala. Somehow I zoned out.
We chanted. Let's do the Ghanapata until before we get to until Tharaya Namaha. Okay, then Shivaya Shivataraya will do it. Shri
गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् नमः सोमाय सोमाय नमो नमः सोमाय च सोमाय नमो नमः सोमाय च सोमाय च सोमाय सोमाय च रुद्राय रुद्राय च सोमाय सोमाय च रुद्राय 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 च रुद्राय च रुद्राय च रुद्राय च रुद्राय च रुद्राय रुद्राय च नमो नमश्च रुद्राय रुद्राय च नमः च नमो नमश्च नमः ताम्राय ताम्राय नमश्च नमः ताम्राय नमस्ताम्राय ताम्राय नमो नमः ताम्राय च ताम्राय नमो नमः ताम्राय च ताम्राय च ताम्राय ताम्राय चारुणाय रुणाय च ताम्राय ताम्राय चारुणाय चारुणाय रुणाय च चारुणाय च चारुणाय च चारुणाय च अरुणाय च चारुणाय रुणाय च नमो नमः चारुणाय रुणाय च नमः च नमो नमश्च नमः शङ्गाय शङ्गाय नमश्च नमः शङ्गाय नमः शङ्गाय शङ्गाय नमो नमः शङ्गाय च शङ्गाय नमो नमः शङ्गाय च शङ्गाय च शङ्गाय शङ्गाय च पशुपतये पशुपतये च शङ्गाय शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च पशुपतये पशुपतये च पशुपतये च पशुपतये च पशुपतये च पशुपतये च पशुपतये पशुपतये च नमो नमश्च पशुपतये पशुपतये च नमः पशुपतय इति पशुपतये नमो नमश्च नमः उग्रायोग्राय नमश्च नमः उग्राय नमः उग्रायोग्राय नमो नमः उग्राय च उग्राय नमो नमः उग्राय च उग्राय च उग्रायोग्राय च भीमाय भीमाय चोग्रायोग्राय च भीमाय च भीमाय भीमाय च भीमाय च भीमाय च भीमाय च भीमाय च भीमाय भीमाय च नमो नमश्च भीमाय भीमाय च नमः च नमो नमश्च नमो अग्रे वदाय नमश्च नमो अग्रे वदाय नमो अग्रे वदाय नमो नमो अग्रे वदाय चाग्रे वदाय नमो नमो अग्रे वदाय च अग्रे वदाय च चाग्रे वदायाग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय दूरे वदाय चाग्रे वदायाग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय अग्रे वदाये चग्रे वदाय दूरे वदाय दूरे वदाय च 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 दूरे वदाय दूरे वदाय च नमो नमश्च दूरे वदाय च नमः दूरे वदायेति दूरे वदाय च नमो नमश्च नमो हन्त्रे हन्त्रे नमश्च नमो हन्त्रे नमो हन्त्रे हन्त्रे नमो नमो हन्त्रे च हन्त्रे नमो नमो हन्त्रे च हन्त्रे च हन्त्रे हन्त्रे च हनीयसे हनीयसे च हन्त्रे हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च हनीयसे हनीयसे च हनीयसे च हनीयसे च हनीयसे च हनीयसे च हनीयसे हनीयसे च नमो नमश्च हनीयसे हनीयसे च नमः च नमो नमश्च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो नमश्च नमो वृक्षेभ्यः नमो वृक्षेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमो नमो हरिकेशेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमः हरिकेशेभ्यो नमो नमो हरिकेशेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय ताराय नमो हरिकेशेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय हरिकेशेभ्य हरिकेशेभ्यः नमस्काराय ताराय नमो नमस्काराय नमो नमस्काराय नमो नमस्काराय नमः ताराय नमो नमस्काराय ताराय नमः शम्भवे शम्भवे नमस्काराय ताराय नमः शम्भवे नमः शम्भवे शम्भवे नमो नमः शम्भवे च शम्भवे नमो नमः शम्भवे च शम्भवे च शम्भवे शम्भवे च मयो भवे च शम्भवे शम्भवे च मयो भवे शम्भव इति शम्भवे
Happy Sankranti to all of you. Sankranti. Kranti means path. Kranti also means illumination. Revolution. Transformation. We are used to the concept of revolution after communists came into the existence. The revolution is transformation, kranti. What does some mean?
Divine.
Same. Sam stands for samyak, together. Like samskrutam means samyak krutam. To do it together is samskrutam. So it's not a language, it is action. Huh? Like that samyak kranti is samkranti. Samyak kranti means to be on a path together, to be in the satsangam together, to be on the same illumination together, to evolve together, to transform together. And how beautiful Swami actually stopped at Taraya Namaha. And the next is Shivaya, Shambhave, Shankaraya, Shivaya. This is the path he wants us to take from today. And what is this path? Taraya means to get over it. The one that makes you get over it, which is over, past, Taraya Namaha. Then Sankranti comes. Then we are starting Shivaya. Shambhave. Shambhave cha, Mayobhave cha, Shankaraya cha, Mayaskaraya cha, Shivaya cha, Shivataraya cha. So from Taraya Namaha, after Taraya Namaha, what happens? Once you got over it, once he helps you get over that hurdle, as the Taranam takes you over that hurdle, then what happens? Sham Bhave. Bhava means birth. Sham Bhave. Positivity starts. See how beautifully Sankranti message, no preparation, just now he told. Sham Bhave. What is this Sham? Sham means Shanchame, Majaschame, which is Shamchame, Mayaschame. Now you say Shambhavecha, Mayobhavecha. What is Sham? What is Maya? Definitely not Maya. Okay. Maya and Maya are not. In English, if you write M-A-Y-A, it could be Maya, also Maya. You cannot distinguish in the Western world Maya and Maya. Maya, Shambhavecha, Shambho we say. Shambho, Shiva Shambho. Bho, Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Swayambho. That Bhava stands for Bho. Shambho means the one who originates within you, comes out of you as auspiciousness, positivity, no negativity. Sham also means the one gives you happiness in the material world. That is Shanchame. Sham is actually happiness, Ananda, from a material aspect of it. You see a beautiful ring, you feel delighted. Genuinely, you see a beautiful plant, you feel delighted. Asti bhati tattva. When you see something, you get delighted with your physical perception. That delightment is called Sham. The one who gives you happiness to enjoy everything around you in physical context is Shambho, which is very important. You may have beautiful plants all around you. If you don't have proper vision, then you lost the Sham. Similarly, you have beautiful sweets all around you. If you have diabetes, you lost the Sham. How many ways you can lose Sham? So every time when you feel happy about seeing something, eating a mango fruit, you have beautiful experience of Nujivid Rasam, it is Sham. Come and eat this Mexican mango here, no Sham. Fresh avocado, if you eat with really the sesame oil flowing freely and then ghee on the top of it, it is Sham. If you don't have the ability to tolerate capsaicin, no Sham. How many ways we can talk Sham in so many ways. I'm sure every one of you can relate to the Shem I am talking about very clearly. But you have to be grateful to that divinity within you that is making you enjoy even on that physical plane. Because see, now I was telling you have this, you get enjoy. What if you don't have that perception ability? Then you lost it. So who is giving you that perceptibility of enjoyment of the object? He is the one that is Shambho. What is Mayo Bhavecha? No.
Happiness in the
Happiness?
in the ether world, or
Happiness in the
beyond the material world.
beyond the material world. Now let us talk about that. Very simple. The Vachyartha is correct. Sham is happiness in the material world and the manifested world. What is Mayo Bhave means the one who gives you happiness beyond the plane of the perceptual world. What is that? What is the Ananda that we can relate to that is beyond that material world? No, blank. Nobody can think of example. Maybe that is my overage.
When you chant something, you get ananda,
Yes.
and that is one. It's nothing to do with the physical
Hmm.
world.
Hmm.
And similarly, when you do service, you get ananda.
When you do service, you get ananda. Even though you are not materially, that's a beautiful example. When you do service, when it is not related to your own pleasure, but you're doing it for the pleasure of others, that is Mayo Bhavecha. Swami says J-O-Y, joy. Jesus first, others next, you last. Joy. If you go the other way around, so that is Mayo Bhavecha. That's a beautiful example of what direct experience not related to you. Now there is other in a paramarthic sense. When you see a ring or a necklace and you are only enjoying it from the physical aspect of that particular object, then it is Shambhavecha. But if you enjoy the gold itself, it is Mayobhavecha. You don't see that aspect of what is giving you the temporal happiness. If you see beyond that, that is Mayobhavecha. But who is the one that is actually giving that experience? How is Swami? Beautiful. I should probably forward this discourse if I have an MP3 of it. In one discourse, he talks about it. He actually asked the question. Many people have this conflict in their head, which is when I eat a mango, I get Ananda right now. But Swami, what is it that you are talking about? Atmananda, Brahmananda. I don't know where it exists or whether it exists or not. How do you want me to go after all of that stuff, leaving what I can enjoy right now? This is a very beautiful paramarthic question, isn't it? Very simple question that every one of us struggle with. You are getting the Ananda right now eating a mango. Why you are talking about, forget about the Ananda getting a mango, be in Brahmananda. What is that? We go beyond this sense and be in Brahmananda. We cannot relate to that. But the Ananda that is coming from eating a mango is, how did Swami describe it? It is 1 trillionth or even more than the Ananda that you get from the Brahmananda. Therefore, once you touch that Ananda, the rest of the stuff, right? Can you go to Kalpavruksha and ask for chocolate? Which one of us will do? Kalpavruksha comes. Swami is right here. Swami says, hey, what do you want? Yes, Swami, I want a chocolate. Will you ask him that? No, I'm just, kid might ask, because for them that is Atmananda. But grown up, nobody will ask, right? Isn't it? But what is the one that is giving this Ananda? And Swami describes this incredibly. But the point is, Mandara Makaranta Madhurya Mulatelu Madhupambu Vovune Madanamulaku. Nirmala Mandakini. That poem is there in Bhagavatam. Prahlada describes to Hiranyakashipu. This fellow keeps on saying Narayana, 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 Narayana all the time. Hey, why you are saying Narayana, Narayana? Why don't you say some other name? Then he says, I cannot say any other name because I am not getting the same Ananda. If I say anything else, I cannot even try, he will say. Because I touched that of the Nirmala Mandakini Vichikala to Rayansa Tanune Taranginulaku Ambujodbhava Divya Padaravinda Chintanamruta Matta Pana Chitta Meriti Itarambu Cheranetsu Vinuta Gunasila Matalu Veinela. He gives so many metaphors. Will a bee that has experienced the nectar, the ananda of drinking a nectar in a beautiful lotus, will it go and fall on a plastic flower? It will never. Even if the plastic flower looks fresh all the time and the lotus will wither, it will not go to the plastic flower. This is, we have to, the context of that is the lotus is his feet. Once you go to the ananda of going to his feet, you cannot leave it. It's impossible. If you left it, that means you have not really received what the ananda of the presence of the divine is. Very simple as that. But I will also tell you other thing. When you touch somebody else's feet, you will not be able to see anybody else's feet other than his feet only. Because it is that level of dedication. Where am I going with the Sham Bhave Mayo Bhave? And I have not forgotten about it. And Swami describes, first point is that. But what is it that is giving this ananda? There is something within you that is actually making you feel the ananda about material world and the nether world, right? And then he says, see, the thing about the material world is, he says, one guy likes bitter gourd, kakarakai kura, fantastic, he will say. Another guy says, hates kakarakai kura. Where is the problem, kakarakai or the person? Right? Gutti Vankai Kura, Andhra people, many of them like. You cannot even leave it, especially our Bapatla Gutti Vankai, it's like called Vennamuddalu. Butter balls. Bapatla Gutti Vankai. You don't need to do anything. You go to the market, you buy it, and you just put some coal, kumpati they call it. And then you put it on the top of it, and you just peel it up, put some salt and some, pepper and eat it. It's fantastic. You don't need to fry it, do nothing. Vennamuddar, it will melt in your. But the same thing may not be appealing to Gurumani. Is the problem? So if it is, but the Mayobhave is different. Independent of whoever it is, whoever touches that ananda, the experience is the same. That's why a Purandaradasa, a Tyagaraja, a Gopanna, a Muthuswami Dikshit, you take saint after saint after saint after saint. Why do they go after Rama Sankirtana? Because there is nothing else pleasure. Once they touch that, my God, there is nobody that says Nama Sankirtana is fantastic. Other guys say Nama Sankirtana is boring. If somebody says that there is a problem, they have to be mentally checked out. Because it is proven, it is tried and true. Brahmananda is tried and true. That's why so many spiritual giants go after Nama Sankirtana. They go after Japa, Tapa, Dhyana, Niyama, Yoga, Nishtha. All the sadhakas and seers go after that because there is no distinction, you see. But material world, Shambhave, there is distinction. Now you get the context of what is the difference between the two. That ananda that you have touched, which will not have you depart from that ananda, that is the Mayobhavecha. So, but if you don't have the perceptual ability to enjoy ananda, see, ability to enjoy, that's why you see any great saint, in physical world also they enjoyed, and after that transformation happens, the guy goes to Mayobhavecha. How many stories like that? Isn't it? Even Purandaradasa, this picture is here. Purandaradasa's picture is here. And Purandaradasa, He did not become a saint since his childhood. In fact, he was at most miser businessman. Absolutely. Did not even let one penny go out of the home. That's much how he really was a. Then suddenly transformation happens. That's it. You don't go back to that. That transformation is Taraya Namaha, and the Taraya Namaha comes first, and then Shambhavecha, Mayogavecha, Shankaraja, Maheskaraja, Shivaja, Shivataraja. And that Mayo, so now here is the one more thing I will say from Swami's discourse about this Ananda thing. And he has to, he tells in this discourse, Swami says, an old dog goes, finds a bone, and it gets the bone, and it finds a small bush. It goes with this bone, very happy. Dog and bone are very happy, right? Bone is the most important happiness for a dog. And that's why they say, if somebody, you have to trap somebody, say, throw a bone, they say. Huh? Then the guy will go get it like a dog, right? And it takes this bone, goes and sits in a bush, and it starts biting on the bone. The harder the bone feels, the harder the dog bites. And as it bites harder, at one point one of its tooth will crack and blood will start coming from its own mouth, and it will keep on sucking on this bone, thinking that the blood is coming from the bone, but the blood is coming from within itself. If you connect to this principle, I will tell you. Dinkar is shaking his head. You cannot connect to this. When a child is sucking the thumb, the child enjoys sucking the thumb. The ananda it is getting from sucking the thumb, it thinks it is sucking the nipple of the mother. And when the saliva comes out because of this sucking, it is drinking this saliva, thinking that it is getting the milk from the mother. Same principle. All the material world is exactly like that. The ananda is not in the object. The ananda is within you. You buy a home, you enjoy it. The enjoyment is not with the home. It's within you. You happen to impose your ananda on that object, and then you enjoy. Like the dog sucking on the bone, like a child sucking on the thumb. You buy a car, you enjoy it. The ananda is not in the car. It is you imposing the ananda and thinking that the car is giving you ananda. You understand the context of this, why this ananda is material world ananda is, but the brahmananda that is coming is also, see, this ananda is coming from the head level, from the perceptual level, but the brahmananda is coming from the heart level. When it comes from that level, it doesn't really matter. You are always in ananda. You don't need an object to get ananda, because you are ananda yourself. Hello, Sairam. Yes, what is happening here? Hello. Am I blissed out, or are you blissed out? What do you think? Ananda, is this making ananda? What do you think? That this is the Shambhavecha. But Mayobhavecha is, you don't require anything to be happy. A Bhagavan Ramana, a Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Aurobindo Ghosh, Swami Jnanananda, all these incredible saints, they have so much bliss and happiness because their happiness does not come from surroundings. It's constantly coming from within their own heart. In the ecstasy of, it doesn't even, the moment you say Krishna, Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Ramakrishna used to go into this ecstatic, it's like a fit. He will, Unmatta, just go into that plane of happiness, just like that. It's very difficult. Once he tells Turiyananda, I'll go into this Krishna drama. Hey, I'll be constantly going into this trance whenever I hear this Krishna's name. So please wake me up whenever I am, so that I can enjoy the play. He's thinking from a physical plane. See, this is the great masters do these kind of things to teach a lesson to the devotee. You know, And every time this play is happening, Ramakrishna sees little Krishna on the stage, he is in Ananda because he becomes Krishna himself. The instantaneous connectivity to that name and the form, that Satchidananda is what happens. And that is Mayo Bhavecha. That birth of that Ananda is Mayo Bhavecha. Let's start Taraya Namaha and then we'll go to, let's chant until Namastaraya Taraya Namo Namastaraya Namo Namastaraya Namo Namastaraya Namaha Taraya Namo Namastaraya Taraya Namah Shambhave Shambhave Namah Taraya Taraya Namah Shambhave Namah Shambhave Shambhave Namo Namah Shambhave Jaja Shambhave Namo Namah Shambhave Jaja Shambhave Jaja Shambhave Shambhave Jamayo Bhave Mayo Bhave Jaja Shambhave Shambhave Jamayo Bhave Shambhava iti Shambhave. You have to let the Sham take place within you. Shambhava iti Shambhave. Shambhava iti Shambhave. Shambhava iti Shambhave. Mayo Bhave Mayo Bhave Jaja 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 Mayo Bhave Mayo Bhave Janamo Namasya Mayo Bhave Mayo Bhave Janamaha Mayo Bhava iti Maya Bhave. Next, Sivaya. This particular chanting has exactly Manasa Bhajana Guru Charanam. Just if you think about it. Dustara Bhava Sagara Taranam Taraya Namaha. Manasa Bhajane Guru Charanam Dustara Bhava Sagara Taranam Taraya Namaha. What is the one that is taking you across? His feet. Shivaya. The next one is Shankaraya. Right? Shankaraya. First feeling. Next, action. Huh? You see something, right when you see the mango, the drooling happens inside, isn't it? Huh? Do you have to wait until you eat the mango to start? No, first thing happens is the drooling. And then you catch the mango and then you start Shankaraya. The one who gives you happiness because you do things in the physical world. And the one who gives you happiness, here service comes. Doing, action. Mayaskaraya. When you do things that are giving you happiness beyond your own plane, is Mayaskaraya. Now, I took so much time for the first one so that you can immediately connect to. But here, action, what is this action related to Mayaskaraya? When you sing Nama Sankirtanam, that's fresh on the mind, it is still there, somewhere there. We have not come on to the ground yet. It actually is giving the individual that is doing it as utmost happiness, but if it transforms everyone together, Sankranti, Samyak Kranti. That's why Buddha's principle is all around samyak, samyak, samyak. Samyak bhava, samyak drishti, samyak karanam, samyak hridayam, samyak, samyak, samyak. Unity, together, together, together. And when you do these things that are taking you to that level of, when you are doing happiness, when you are getting happiness on your own plane. Swami describes this another metaphor. The room is dark and you put a lamp. Only that room is illuminated. Outside of that room it will be still dark, isn't it? When you have full moon, it's nice and pleasant and you can see, but not so clearly. When there is sunlight, everything is crystal clear. When your actions bring happiness to your own level and to your own family, that is light bulb. When it goes beyond to your community, Manavadu, Telugu Vadu, Tamil Vadu, Kannada Vadu, Telangana, Samyakandra, Kadinandra, little bit moonlight, still not clear. No boundaries. The being matters and the becoming matters. That is sunlight. And the great souls. Here is a very important aspect. The reason why the great seers and saints like Tyagaraja did Unchavrutti, he went singing Ramanama Sankirtanam. That is my business on weekend also here. Doing Ramanama Sankirtanam, going from home to home. And whatever they give, you will eat and come. So, of course, here the difference is I am not doing Ramanama Sankirtanam. But Tyagaraja is a great saint like that. Who gets benefited by that? When you have even Shirdi Baba, right? He took his tin dabba and went into the Shirdi and begged for alms. And when people give the bhiksha, see, the concept of all of that has changed right now. People don't have a concept of what a bhiksha is. You call it, even you don't even, you have to go invite them, please come, partake some food in my home. Then by doing that, that great soul takes all the problems you have in your home upon themselves and relieve you from the bondage associated with all those things. That's why when you call somebody for bhiksha, like a great soul, the whole village prospers. If that individual is not there, the village doesn't prosper. You understand? So for whose sake this guy is doing bhiksha? For others, to take all their problems. That is Mayaskaraya. Shankaraya, Mayaskaraya. Every great soul lived the example of this because their message is that their happiness is in others' happiness. It's expansion consciousness. It starts with, first of all, don't get me wrong, by this it doesn't mean that you hurt yourself and you go doing only, that is not, first you have to have Shankaraya. You have to have, like Vivekananda says, you have to have a strong body, a steel body. Then the strong and steel body gives a strong and steel mind. And with that mental strength, you go and serve the community. If you yourself are falling on the ground, you cannot lift somebody up. So you have to stand up and then help others, right? Help ever, hurt never. So the help ever is first you have to help yourself. And that Shankaraya, Mayaskaraya is, after that, it automatically expands. You cannot stop it. See, if a great saint like Tyagaraja or a Purandara have composed so many krutis, it is not because they wanted name and fame. It is spontaneous expression of the love for divinity that benefited the entire world. So in that action, so here is one time in the portico, what's that? In the portico, Professor Anil Kumar asked Swami Adi Shankara, the great Advaita guy, what? Right? He is the epitome of Advaita. But for Adi Shankara, the concept of Advaita would not have been even understood by mortal souls like us, isn't it? So he asked Swami, that means he didn't have any bhakti? That means he didn't do any karma? You know what Swami's answer was? He said, these human beings and some of these pandits, they are perverted. They impose their own thing on others. He said, Adi Shankara is a great bhakta. Take every famous stotram that you chant, from Mudakaratta Modakam to every famous Bhavani stotram, Rajarajeshwari Ashtakam. How many Ashtakams and stotrams Shankaracharya has composed, right? Karakadhara stotram. That is all his bhakti only, no? Hello. Again, you are all really look dazed. I am taking you to some other plane. The thing is, it doesn't, there is actually in reality no difference between bhakti, jnana, karma, margas. They are like the three jatas of a beautiful woman. Nowadays they don't exist, but they come of a jata of a woman. That's what Swami says. He exactly does like this. They are like Triveni Sangamam. Triveni Sangamam. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Bhakti, Jnana, Karma, Margas. If somebody says that, oh, all of this stuff is too much for me, I am not into this Rajasic singing, I am a Sattvic guy, I don't even actually open my mouth, I don't do Namasmarana, this guy, I am evolved beyond all. If somebody says like that, then they forgot the principle that Bhakti, Karma, Jnana are always together. They are never separate from each other. There is nothing like something is better than the other or one thing is inferior than the other. If you have bhakti, you are a lower guy, and if you have jnana, you are a higher guy. Bhakti, when it matures, is jnana. Karma is the action oriented for maturation of this stuff. So karma helps you become a fruit of jnana. You understand? So what is the, I don't know, you're getting a stick and a carrot out. Let's see if this one. Then something is fundamentally wrong with that board. Yes. Yeah. So there is that's why this bhakti is for Shankaracharya. All the stotras he composed, every single temple when Shankaracharya was there, major temples, he re-energized the Moola Shakti in those temples. Poured back the divine, because everything has a sthala balam, they call it. After a certain number of sthala mahima. So, after so many number of years, great saints come and rejuvenate the power of those places. And so, the context of what is the karma that Shankaracharya did. We talked about the bhakti. The karma that he had done is, without Shankaracharya today there wouldn't be Sandhyavandanam. All the methodology of Sandhyavandanam was established by him. That's why the end prayer